Hello, everyone. It is Amy from AMPO here. I hope that you are having an excellent week. Here at AMPO, we are coming up alongside you and talking about annual giving. We're talking about how to make your annual giving program more strategic instead of just a series of tasks that you're checking off the list. How can we start to think about our program in a more strategic way? And this week, we're going to come and we're going to talk about metrics. Can you believe it? It is already the end of quarter two. It's true. It is true. We are already this far into the year. And so now is the time when you're going to want to come back to your board and you're going to want to talk to them about your program and share some metrics with them about how you're doing. So one of the things that you're going to want to share with them is you're going to want to share your strategic annual giving prospect portfolio. You're going to want to talk about how you have created a prospect portfolio of annual givers that you're looking at working with in a more strategic way, and that you're hoping to build their gifts. You're hoping to retain their gifts. You're hoping to lift their gifts, and you're hoping that maybe some of those folks that you'll be able to move them into major or legacy givers. So we're going to, you want to make sure that you're talking about that with your board. But we want to focus today on what is a metric that you can use that can help you to frame up your results. And we are not going to use cost to raise a dollar. I could talk about my hatred of that metric for days. So we are not talking about cost to raise a dollar. Costs are something you cut. We are going to talk about how you are making an investment in your resource development program, because investments are things that we feed and investments are things that we give additional resources to. Costs we cut. So no more talking about costs, we're talking about investments. So the investment that you have made into your fundraising program. And so what we're going to do is we are going to turn to Board Source. They have a really great metric for us that we're going to use with our board. And that is, we are going to talk about our fundraising net. And that is, how many dollars have you fundraised that your organization has been able to invest in the mission? And what could we do if we raised more dollars? How much more investment could we have? So the way that you determine your fundraising net, it's a pretty simple one, folks. You're going to take your revenue minus your expenses to get your net. So you're going to take the total dollars raised. What is the total amount that you have raised this year? Subtract out the total amount you've spent this year. Don't shortchange yourself. This includes salary. So what is the amount that you've raised? What is the amount that you've spent? And what is the net of those dollars? So if you've raised $500,000 and if you've spent $100,000, your net is $400,000. And so what is the investment that the organization is making with those dollars? And if you start talking this way, all of a sudden, you're going to start to have people who are going to say, but what could we do with more investment? And now you're going to have people who are going to want to invest in your resource development program instead of just merely cutting those costs to get that cost to raise a dollar, that dreaded metric, down for us. So there you have it. Here you can frame it up for your board. So you've got two things to bring to your board this summer. You've got your strategic annual giving prospect portfolio to bring to them and talk about how you're being strategic in your annual giving efforts. And you can talk to them about your fundraising net and how investment in your fundraising program has yielded these results, and these results are making this impact. So again, investment, results, impact. That's how you want to think about this. And with that, your board is going to be excited to start talking about how we can get more investment into that impact. So there you have it. There's some tips for you to take back to your board here at the end of quarter two to talk about the strong financial position that your fundraising program is in. If you have any questions, if you'd like to chat with me, just reach out. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear how things are going. Have a great week, and we will talk soon. Bye, everybody.